Sawadee welcome to Thailand Today here on NBT World. Thailand will host the ASEAN Cultural Year from July to August and push for a fourth ASEAN Social and Culture Centers in Thailand. Cultural Minister Virat Pujanarat, as chairman of the ASEAN Social Cultural Community ASCC Council, said following the 21st meeting of the ASEAN Social Cultural Community ASCC Council that the meeting has extended full support to Thailand's priorities for the ASCC pillar. These pillars include promoting future-oriented action for human security, promoting people-to-people connectivity and partnerships, and promoting socio-cultural sustainability in the region. Mr. Virat said the ASEAN nations welcome Thailand's efforts in establishing 7 ASEAN centers, including the ASEAN Center for Sustainability, Development Studies and Dialogue. During its chairmanship, among the centers, 4 are ASCC-related centers which will be established or developed, namely the ASEAN Center for Active Aging and Innovation, ACAI, ASEAN Cultural Center, the ASEAN Training Center for Social Work and Social Welfare, ATCSW, and also the setting up of the Disaster Emergency Logistics Systems and ASEAN Delta Satellite Warehouse. East Timor is set to become the world's first country to recycle all its plastic waste. In a region where seas are awash with trash, East Timor is set to become the world's first country to recycle all its plastic waste after it teamed up with Australian researchers on Friday to build a revolutionary recycling plant. The $40 million plant will ensure that no plastic once used in the South Asian nation will become waste. What would instead be turned into new products. Delhi said it has signed a memorandum of understanding with Australia's Mura Technology to establish a non-profit called RESPEC that will run the plastic recycling plant expected to launch by the end of 2020. This is a small country where we can make a statement, making the whole country the first to be plastic neutral in a region where there is a largest pollution of marine life, said Thomas Marshmallow, the co-inventor of the recycling technology to be used in the new plant. Plastic, if you don't dispose it well, is a terrible thing. But if you can dispose of it well, it's a great thing, Marshmallow told the Thomson Reuters Foundation by phone. In many parts of Asia, fast-growing economies and populations, coupled with huge coastlines and densely populated cities, have filled local seas and trash and plastic waste. Garbage collection services and infrastructure have largely failed to keep pace with the rapid development. More than 80 million tons of plastics are dumped in the world's ocean each year. Scientists said about a truckload per minute. China, Indonesia, Vietnam, the Philippines, and Thailand are among the top culprits, waste experts say. Since Thailand and Timor-Leste established diplomatic relations on the 20th May 2002, both countries have enjoyed close and cordial relations, spurred in part by Thailand's development democracy, though technical cooperation under the Thailand International Development Cooperation Agency. Next break, we will have a special guest from Timor-Leste who will tell us about the current bilateral cooperation between Thailand and Timor-Leste. Coming back after a short break.
NBT World, an English-language television channel in Thailand. Authoritative sources for all government information.
High-standard content that's reliable and accurate across every platform. Our mission is to reflect the vision of Thailand.
Keep up to date through our application or website by searching for NBT World. NBT World, a vision of Thailand.
Welcome back to Thailand Today here on NBT World. Today our program has a great pleasure to have His Excellency Mr. Babo, he's the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of Timor-Leste, in our studio to tell us about the current bilateral cooperation between Thailand and Timor-Leste. Sawadee ka.
Sawadee ka.
Well, welcome to Thailand Today program, sir.
It's a pleasure.
So nice to have you here. So
Thank you.
tell me, is it your first time in Thailand?
This is my third time to Thailand. But let me just say swadika to
Okay.
the respectful audience.
Yeah.
And it's always been good to actually be back in Thailand.
Okay.
Thailand.
All right, sir. So you said three times already. So what tourists or something?
Well, I was initially here in my capacity as an academic. And then I came back here as the Minister of Justice
Oh.
to attend a meeting with the SCAP. And now I'm back here as the Minister of Foreign Affairs of my country. It's a pleasure.
Oh, you can see the the boat is become bigger and bigger. Anyway,
Thank
so what is the primary purpose of this visit this time, sir?
Well, the primary purpose of visit this time is twofold. One is to, in the context of a working visit on a bilateral basis to my homologue or my counterpart, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Thailand. But the second thing, also in the capacity as the head of delegation of Timor-Leste to attend the 75th SCAP meeting.
Okay, I see.
So I've been quite busy in the last 2 days in the meetings, but also had a chance to do the working meeting.
Thailand and Timor-Leste has been, well, friends from the beginning, since the time of your country be independence. So until now, how much we are so close to each other?
First of all, let me appreciate the help that Thailand has extended to Timor-Leste when it attained its independence in 1999 by sending the Thai armed forces together with the international peacekeeping force to keep peace in Timor-Leste in 1999, and also following the vote of referendum in 1999. Then from then on, I think we started established our bilateral relations, and a number of areas of cooperation have been identified, be it in education, health, tourism, agriculture, and also defense and security to some extent. That the last part of it, or the last element of this cooperation in defense and security, actually was an extension of the previous mission that the Thai military. And I'm very proud to also inform you that yesterday I met the new designated House of Speaker, who was 2 times Prime Minister, and the Thai forces actually were sent in 1999 in one of the period that His Excellency, the Prime Minister at that time, actually was very involved, and I must thank him and congratulate him for that.
Unbelievable, right?
It
when you
is.
come back, he's become the chairman of the house already.
That's true.
Interesting. Okay, so since our Thai people or foreign people, our audience who in the 177 countries may not like to know a little bit about the people and the way of life and a little bit of Timor-Leste people. So normally, people doing what kind of career, or what do you have?
For living.
Okay, cultural to what?
Timor-Leste is located in Southeast Asia. It is shared an island, which is known as the island of Timor, with Indonesia. It is located 400 miles away from the northern part of Australia. So even before independence, Timor-Leste was, which was part of Indonesia at that time, was already a member of the ASEAN community.
Yeah.
So Timor-Leste is a country that was colonized by the Portuguese for 500 years, by the Indonesians for 24 years, and finally got independance in 2002 after a vote of referendum in 1999.
Yeah.
Today it has about 1.2 million inhabitants, according to census 2015. And the country relies mainly on the natural resources for its economic development. But also it has some agriculture product, mainly coffee, which has been exported throughout the world, and also some other agricultural products that is now being developed. Economically, Timor-Leste is considered as an underdeveloped country, and we have begun to launch a national strategic development plan that is aligned with the strategic development objectives of the UN, and we from 2011 to 2030, and we aim to become a middle-income country by 2030. So we have petroleum, we have
Yes, you are rich.
we have
Gas.
we have gas, we have tourism, we have very good agriculture. Many and many Timorese now actually going out to study and work abroad. And in fact, and even though with only a few years after independence, foreign remittance has constituted the second largest income of the country after oil and gas.
Oh, okay.
So our people are contributing a lot. So the country is now, apart from, as I said, apart from this part of the Southeast Asia, it's a country that has developed in terms of democracy, human rights, and also economy. I think we are, in terms of economic growth, we are even ahead of some members of ASEAN countries.
But you already touched.
But not Thailand, of course.
But you already touched about tourism.
Thank you.
I'm sure people like to hear that. If they, for those who haven't been there, what is the best place and the place that is a must to visit?
Generally, tourism is only a new sector to be developed, but we are directing it more towards community tourism and ecotourism.
Yeah.
I must stress that at this stage, we don't have many infrastructure in place yet, but we have people who have place to live comfortably, to also receive guests, tourists, and 70% of the country is mountainous. Because of its mountain topography, it actually is very interesting and has an interesting landscape where people can go and have a good sightseeing, and also it's a tropical country. It's hot all the time, and you can go to many places as you wish.
Interesting, right?
Yeah.
You did mention about your, a little bit on the underdeveloping country. But before I forget, I should mention this, that we came to know that Timor-Leste is set to become the world's first country to recycle all plastic waste.
Yeah,
I have to congratulate with this. This is even developed country also cannot solve the problem.
it's very interesting. I think over 2 months ago, we launched the first national campaign to eliminate, at least to reduce the level of plastic waste. And the government has launched it, starting initially from the public spheres and also public buildings. And we also have decided to work with an international an Australian company that actually aims to recycle, not only recycling, but also reducing the amount to a minimum level. I think as in many places in Thailand as well, we think it is very difficult to avoid plastic. Plastic is still there. It is still one of the means of our lives. So we are tipped to be the first country to really come to terms with what many dub as plastic-free country, but we would prefer to use plastic-neutral country instead of free.
That's interesting. Thailand also have a headache with this.
Is that right?
We cannot solve the problem yet. So, Excellency, so what is the bilateral cooperation between Thailand and Timor-Leste?
As
You mentioned a little bit on that. Yes.
I think I've said in the beginning that as early as 2003 or 4, we started our bilateral cooperation and relations and cooperation, and a number of areas were identified, including defense and security, education,
Yes.
agriculture, and I think some areas of human capacity development that has to do with tourism and so on. A number of Timorese students have studied in Thailand, and they are still here. And then we will continue this program in the future. In terms of defense and security, cooperation between our armed forces and the police continues. We have this tradition, and we honor very much this tradition. In terms of agriculture, we also have a cooperation where many Timorese actually were sent to Thailand to study.
The Royal Project?
There are different projects, particularly the agriculture one. So it has to do with, I think, agriculture innovation and so on. And as you know, that 70% of our population live in rural areas, and most of them are farmers. So agriculture is still one
What
of
do you
the
normally grow?
one of the biggest source of income, but still very subsistence. The biggest one that actually is for export is a coffee. Is coffee.
I think you're talking about coffee.
Yeah, and my
Very
parents and
tasty.
my grandparents are coffee farmers. So I'm the son of a
Tasty,
farmer.
tasty. Really, I promise it's really
Thank
good.
you.
Good taste. Yeah. So, how about trade and investment? Is there any investment from Thai side over there?
Trade, in terms of trade investment, I had a discussion with the Thai side a couple of days ago, and also when I met Minister Don, His Excellency say that we need to increase our cooperation from mere assistance to real cooperation, and then it was the discussion went further when I met His Excellency, the new Speaker of the House, the President of the General Assembly, where we discussed about the possibility of having Thai private sector involved in the infrastructure development in Timor-Leste, and I think I would encourage them to go. Since we have companies from China, from Indonesia, from the Philippines, and even Japan already operating there. So the climate of business, the climate of commerce is very promising, and we are now embarking on a national infrastructure development. So we really, of course, need our partners from outside, including Thai companies, and I will encourage very much. On that.
And I believe some restaurant also there.
Oh yes, of course. There are a number of Thai restaurants. There are Bangkok restaurant. There are, of course, Pattaya restaurant. I think the name of the river here. Restaurant. So all the Thai food is also color our national cuisine at the moment. And a lot of people who actually come from abroad will go to China, the Thai restaurants. And I have always friends coming over from Indonesia who think that they would need to have Thai restaurants in their country as well.
That shows that there must be some, because Timor-Leste is quite far away, but still they see the prosperity there.
Oh yeah, there are lots of prospects and in terms of economic development, and we are now working on, as I say, embarking on the development of our infrastructure. We're building already two big airports with international standards. We have another port is now being built with international standards, and we expect that in a couple of years' time, Timor-Leste can be a hub of the Asian Pacific. They don't so. Why not? I mean, Timor-Leste, the island of Timor is located in a trench, a strait, which the marine experts call as the fish, the tuna highway that comes from the Indian Ocean, or not the ocean, the Pacific Ocean to the Atlantic. So to come from Indonesia and so on to the Pacific Ocean. As you see, if you have lots of, if you according to the marine experts, if tuna actually goes around the world, it breeds one of the breeding places in Bermuda. But then when they arrive at the Strait of Timor, the Strait of Mobara, which has a depth of 3,000 meters.
Wow!
It also breeds there. So who can control that area can also control the world, as people say.
Before we get to close our first part, how about what kind of export that you wanted from Thailand and Thailand wanted from you? Commodities, goods and commodities.
I think in terms of good communities, agriculture product, particularly organic and primary products. Of course, we also want to have ours develop in the future and get exported to Thailand as well. In addition to that, I think some merchandise things that we haven't actually been able to produce, particularly from electronics. And I understand that a lot of Thai companies who are involved with the solar
system.
Solar electronic system are also been expanding to Timor-Leste, and I hope we could have this trade in a much more active manner, and making sure that we have Timor-Leste have access to all these goods, and that would be, I think, one of the things that we're looking at.
Okay, we're going to come back for ASEAN membership then.
Thank you.
So we are coming back to the end of the first part of our interview, so we'll discuss further about Timor-Leste's plan to become ASEAN membership. Please stay tuned.
In 2019, Thailand is ready for ASEAN chairmanship. working together and building solidarity, to increase competitiveness and innovation with the people at the center. All sectors are ready to promote unity of the ASEAN community. NBT World is excited to be a full supporter of the Thai ASEAN chairmanship. Keep up to date on ASEAN 2019 movement with NBT World.
Welcome back to our program. We're still with His Excellency Mr. Babo. He's the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of Timor-Leste. We'll talk about potential of Timor-Leste to become the member of ASEAN. What is there what to do? I mean, how ready you all are?
Well, let me start this section by presenting my condolences to the people of Thailand, Thailand for the passing of Privy, the advisor to the Prime Minister. Timor-Leste has applied to be a member of Southeast Asian countries in 2011. It has been 8 years.
8 years.
And we've been waiting, and we still continue to wait. We've been getting the support of almost all countries of ASEAN, and Thailand is one of them. And we appreciate, and we would like to thank you very much for this help and this attention. I understand that there is still reservations from one or two countries, particularly with regard to our membership. But we can assure that Timor-Leste is ready to become member of ASEAN. Timor-Leste has the available infrastructure and resources to cope with whatever ASEAN requires. We will not be a burden to ASEAN. We'll make sure that we commit to whatever political philosophy that ASEAN adopts. And as a matter of fact, we have shown this willingness through the establishment of the Embassy of Timor-Leste in all ASEAN countries with a full-fledged and plenipotentiary ambassadors. We have attended almost all meetings that ASEAN coordinates whenever we are invited. And we've also participating in the international events, both at multilateral and bilateral forums, supporting each single member of ASEAN. We are really committed. We have made this known to everyone, including our friends in the United States, United Nations, in Europe, and so on, that we want to be a member of ASEAN. And let me assure the people of Thailand, and also assure my friends in the whole 10 countries of ASEAN, that this remains a priority of Timor-Leste. We would appreciate if this application get a positive response, and please be sure that Timor-Leste will comply with whatever ASEAN wants as a member.
As for Thailand, sir, how could Thailand prepare to help Timor-Leste prepare to get into the membership?
I think a number of elements that actually have been put forward, particularly in terms of cooperation and training of capacity building, and also institutional strengthening, have been actually done by both countries. Thailand has an embassy in Timor-Leste with an ambassador, very active. We work together very, very, very well. So does Timor-Leste has an ambassador here that is very active in all these forums. We are committed that we can be sure a good contributor to ASEAN whenever we become member. And we understand that this time around, Thailand is is in the leadership of ASEAN. We understand that steps have been taken, and in September we will receive a team from the ASEAN Secretariat, headed by the Permanent Secretary, who was a Thai, and Madame, I forgot the name, but she will be heading the team of 10 countries. We're going to Timor-Leste to do an assessment on 3 specific pillars. One is on political defense and security, including justice and so on. The second will be on economic affairs, and the third will be on social and cultural. So Timor-Leste has been working very hard, and we are now operating under the umbrella of coordinating team named Timor-Leste Asian Mobilization Program, Timor-Leste ASEAN Mobilization Program, where all ministries are involved. All ministries actually are preparing themselves to be to participate whenever Timor-Leste can accede to ASEAN. And this is known in Timor-Leste not only as a foreign minister work, but as a whole government approach, a whole state approach. So we are very serious, and I can assure you and the people of countries in ASEAN that Timor-Leste will or is ready to become an 11th member of Southeast Asia.
Of course, because actually Timor-Leste has a lot to offer. You have to do some, as you said, because there's something which is new, something which is people to try and see. So all these in how the accession to ASEAN would benefit tourism, investment, in terms of that.
Well, this is a country of 600,000 million people. 600 million people. Of course, it's a huge market. By becoming a member, Timor-Leste will have lots of benefits in terms of accession to the country, and also in terms of export and import. But also, we have natural resources, particularly oil and gas. We have a new oil field called the Greater Sunrise. That's tipped to be 50 billion worth of well that will with a life of 50 years. So I think this will be a big contribution, because by becoming a member of ASEAN, not only Timor-Leste will benefit, but the rest of the ASEAN will also benefit by tapping into this the resource that we have in Timor-Leste. And we are planning to, the Timor-Leste government owns 56% of the how do you call interest. And we are planning to actually channel a pipeline of exploration to onshore, and of course that will stimulate the economy, and will also I think provide lots of jobs, lots of job opportunities, and lots of chances for the economic development, not only at the high level but also at the community level. And of course we welcome very much all our friends from ASEAN to be part of it. So there are a lot to offer. Of course tourism is one of them that we could benefit. We have also a landscape that is very much of interest to many.
You have to go far from the city, or what? The landscape you can see. It has to be.
It is. I mean,
but how can people go there?
Well, there are roads that actually connected to all municipalities in Timor-Leste. Even
and the plane, and how about the aircraft?
At the moment we have a direct flight from Singapore, which is only 3 hours and a half.
So Bangkok, Singapore?
We'll go Singapore.
Timor.
Now we are working Delhi. Now we're working to see if we can have a direct flight from Bangkok to Delhi.
Why not?
Yeah, and then Delhi, one of the cities in Australia. Yeah, so our Ministry of Transportation and Communication is exploring that at the moment. We're also exploring a direct flight from Kuala Lumpur to Delhi, and then to Sydney, for example. Also from Guangzhou in China to Delhi, and Delhi to Melbourne or Sydney. We also have the daily flights to Darwin, and daily flights, 3 flights per day to Bali, Indonesia. So the connectivity is one of the issues that actually been explored by the government, and we think Timor-Leste is not far from ASEAN. It's very close. In fact, it take only probably 1 or 2 hours once we have the planes operating from Dili to Bandar Seri Begawan.
Right. That's the way.
Right.
So I think you have to be with a lot of brainstorming. I think things can be done very easily because they have almost everything,
Yes.
And you talk about the oil fields that are being exploration and also drilling it or refine it already, or keep it. People saying that because they have a lot, but keep it. You should not use it.
There are 2 areas of exploration. One is what is being explored right now, which we call it's located under the jurisdiction of Timor-Leste, but we developed it jointly with Indonesia. With Australia.
With Australia.
With Australia, there are a few wells that actually have been explored. Some smaller ones have not, but only it's now going to end probably in 5 or 6 years time, but it's only the petroleum. We haven't explored the gas yet. And then the other one that I mentioned to you is another called the Greater Sunrise oil field. It is predicted to have 70 billion cubic of oil and gas, worth $50 billion, and with a life of the project for 50 years. So I think we have much to do down the line. I think countries, every single country of ASEAN can also participate in the future. So instead of opening up to people from other continents to come, why not ASEAN? So I think this is an issue that we could offer. And so Timor-Leste will not be a burden to ASEAN if it becomes member, but it will become one of the contributors.
What about Timor-Leste can invest in Thailand or in the EEC? Or
at the moment, our private sector is still not as developed as what you have in Thailand. There are some Timorese who are now slowly expanding, but to some parts of Indonesia. But we expect them to actually see more opportunities in other countries, particularly in Singapore, in Malaysia, in Thailand, and the Philippines, including Brunei. So but also it comes with time that many Timorese are now actually working outside the country, acquiring knowledge and expertise, and I'm sure they will eventually go to these countries to invest. But also a lot of Timorese who are now studying abroad, not only in Indonesia, in ASEAN countries, but also in Europe, in the United States, in Australia. So once all this number of people going back or returning to Timor-Leste, I'm sure there will be a source of all different development scenarios that Timor-Leste could offer.
Do you think that this is a far-sighted for people to have a look? Because even some of them educate in Thailand also.
Yes.
So there's some students of
there are a number of Timorese students in Thailand. Some actually are completing their studies by the end of the year. But I hope that there will be more coming to study in.
But when they come out like this to study, it's study what? Agriculture? What kind of course?
Different types, various types of courses. Some in social studies, some in agriculture, some in the engineering sector, some in the economic sector. They all actually go and have well employed back home. So you could see, and I remember that I have some friends who actually studied here at Chulalongkorn University. I think a university that actually taught English in all of their major subjects. So they all actually went home and spoke very highly of the education in Thailand, which I think will be a source of many Timorese to come. And the Timorese government, have been benefited a lot from scholarship from Thailand. But also I understand that we are working on having a share or probably a fully funded scholarship from Timor-Leste.
Interesting. I have friends from working in tourism. So they still want me to ask you about the accommodation. If they arrange a bigger group of people to go there for tourist accommodation, infrastructure, how ready you all are?
Well, at the moment, there are a number of hotels. Not a lot like what you might find in Bangkok. But there are sufficient hotels with 4 stars level. 4 stars level, and also some other accommodation the lodges that actually are available in Timor-Leste. And we've been able to receive a big number of foreign dignitaries for conferences, for international conferences.
You have done it before?
Yeah, we've done. We were the president. We were at the presidency of the Portuguese-speaking countries for 2 years. We have people coming from Europe, from Africa, former colonies of Portuguese, and also we've we pioneered the establishment of the small G7 plus. It was G7 plus, but now the number is 20, and G7 plus advocates the fragile to fragile cooperation. Countries that actually have only come from the post-conflict situation and to organize themselves and peer, and they are now seeking membership with an observer status with the United Nations. And I think we have some experiences in organizing. And I think a month ago we organized even a big workshop for ASEAN member countries on preventive diplomacy.
Oh, it's big. For how many countries? Of ASEAN?
There are about not only ASEAN. There are about 27 countries participated in Delhi at that conference. But of course, for ASEAN, you have 10 countries. If Timor-Leste can be a member of ASEAN, it will be the 11th member of the ASEAN.
In terms of food, people, what kind of Portuguese or what?
We have a salad of
Really?
the different food cuisine in Timor-Leste.
Really?
We have Timorese cuisine, which is traditional ones. We have also.
You need to see, so there's a lot of fish or something.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, we have Portuguese cuisine. We have ASEAN cuisine, Chinese cuisine, even Thai cuisine, as I said, even Japanese cuisine. That you can find anywhere at a very affordable price, which is I think. Will allow Timor-Leste even far better than some countries in Asia to host these international meetings when it comes to buying food in the restaurants and so on. So, sorry, what was your question?
No, just talk about the food and all that kind of thing,
Right.
or the tourism thing, so that the tour company wanted to be there. They want to gather a group of people to go there, but they know that I'm going to interview you, so they ask us to ask many things about.
The Heineken company is now
Heineken,
established.
they want to intoxicate your country.
Yeah, they've established there. We have cooperation with. We are now actually beginning to explore cooperation with Indonesia and also Japan on the maritime, on the fisheries. And our fish is the best quality and very cheap. I think we will come very much if Thailand could come and join.
Because Thailand has you go to treasury get it from the Bangladesh or something. Why not just come to this
Timor-Leste, and the sea between Timor-Leste and Australia, which we call Timor Gap, is I think it's the biggest of the whole Southeast Asian country. You can go and just fish there and get as much fish, and you can sell it for very cheap, for a cheap price in the Thailand market.
Well, I really enjoyed this talk and really wish you all the best for
Thank you.
people that are taking the prosperity to Timor-Leste.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
There any other program we thank to His Excellency, Mr. Babo, Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of Timor-Leste. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching Thailand Today, and we hope you enjoyed the show, and we're looking forward to see you again. Swadika.